Congratulations again. Welcome to all of our newly accepted students. Today, I will be doing another video on a couple of things that new incoming students have said have been hurdles or challenges as they are getting ready for their first semester or confusion points. And I want to make sure that you have access to resources that will help you as you transition into your next steps here at VCU School of Education. So I'm going to share my screen and talk through a few websites that will likely be helpful to you as you think about your next steps. So on our main School of Education website, you will see, and so you can go School of Education or soe.vcu.edu. And then from there, you'll see this sort of resource bar. In that resource bar, you'll see under admissions and tuition and fees and financial aid and scholarships. So I'm going to go through two of those today for you. I did a previous workshop on or sort of video on the financial aid and scholarships. Please resource that. And also I made a note to also remind everybody that scholarships are for currently enrolled students. And almost all, if not all of our scholarships are open to international students. So keep that in mind as well as you watch that video. So tuition and fees. This question came up a lot for students that they weren't exactly sure how much their program would cost. So I want to point a couple of resources out, as well as then from a billing standpoint, how to think about billing and how to think about next steps in setting up a payment plan. So on this tuition and fees website, you'll see a graduate tuition and fees. The calculator is also there as well, and that is updated every summer. We get the next year's tuition and fees uploaded. They are approved every summer by our Board of Regents, and you can look at that as it relates to next steps and what you can expect the next year. What you will see on here is graduate level tuition. If you are in state and if you are full-time, this is your per semester rate. If you are in state part-time, this is your per credit rate. So remember to times that by the number of credits that you will be enrolled. Out of state full-time and then out of state part-time. So it gives you a sense of how to figure out your costs for each semester, whether or not you're in state, out of state, part-time, or full-time. For doctoral level, it goes the same process. Doctoral and so master's and certificate are going to be two different cost points. What you can also see on this page is under the financial aid and scholarships again, you have a lot of scholarship opportunities. And so make sure to go back to that previous video if you do have questions about financial aid and scholarships. So now that you know and you figured out what you can estimate to cost or pay, and of course, this is for up through this summer. So once we have this summer, we will update these costs. But it gives you a good estimate, and then you will see the updated costs on the website, usually midsummer. The financial services is a revamped website under fsf.vcu.edu. I also just put billing at VCU into Google and it found it just fine. So whatever way is easier for you. There is a lot on this page, and so please feel free to look at all of these resources. One thing that I want to highlight is the billing and payments area. Understanding your bills, billing schedule, installment plan, refunds, past due accounts, and then tax credits. When it comes to billing schedule, you will see all sorts of different information on here about when to expect your bill to be due. You also have a really handy contact us area, and they are a wonderful team that will respond as soon as they can to any questions that you have. I usually suggest students also go through this area if they have any questions about their installment plan. So for instance, setting up an installment plan and learning about eligibility and the process of doing that as well. So hopefully this has helped as it relates to the cost of the program, which came out a lot as a question, as well as how to pay for the program as well. So to get on a lighter note and finish on a lighter note, a few things to maximize your program. And I know that probably a lot of you have in your admissions packets gotten this information, but I want to highlight because your program is one aspect of your experience here at VCU School of Education. And the other piece is that we have so much going on in our community and our research centers. So please keep in mind that as a student, you have access to so many resources and opportunities to be engaged outside of your classroom experience. And so two places that I want to point out on our website is under our research area, this collaboration opportunities. And again, this was on your slice of life information in your folder. But this research opportunities and collaboration was actually a partnership with Dr. Capria Johnson, helped across institution and across disciplines to put together a research interest network. So no matter what level of graduate and even undergraduate education, for you graduate, no matter what you're coming in and what you're trying to study, you might be able to find cross-disciplinary opportunities to partner and engage in research and inquiry across campus. The other one that I want to point out is our incredible centers. Our centers go across the gamut when it relates to STEM education, to the Minority Educator Recruitment, Retention and Equity Center, partnership with people with disabilities, and more. All of these centers are doing incredible research and research that also apply to practice, to policy. So no matter what you're interested in, your program has incredible opportunities to be both an academic and experiential place for you. The other piece under research, speaking of centers, is our research labs. We have great faculty who are leading different research labs to also be engaged with throughout your program. So I hope that was helpful as it relates to tuition costs, and then also how to make the most out of your program and what really differentiates us in everything that we are doing in the School of Education at VCU. If you have any questions about your onboarding process, enrollment, please let us know. We are here to help and are ready for your next steps.